All right, welcome to episode 3 of Honestly Speaking with me, your host, Gary Davis. And again, my guy in the chair, Anthony. Before we get this out the way, I want to say much appreciated, man, because you make everything go. This guy right here is amazing. He makes everything work. So shout out to that. Today, I want to get into actually just living as a Christian or trying to. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's kind of like really hard because I got a lot of difficulties because I used to like have wandering eyes looking at girls, listening to crazy music. A lot of the movies I like were they just didn't line up. So for you you're married, right?
Right.
So being married, well, let's start like this. Before you were married to now being married as a Christian, were you a Christian before?
Yes. Before I got married, I was a Christian. I think I fully fell into it around. I mean, I've always been in church.
Yeah.
But when I actually, found it for myself, it's probably like 10th or 11th grade.
So once you got into a relationship as if that's a young age, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a lot of people that probably wouldn't really try to even do that until after they graduate.
Right.
So you being still in high school, how did that work? Like, was it hard?
It was definitely hard because like people think that just because you in a private school that you away from all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell y'all that private school is for, in some cases, are for some of the trouble kids whose parents have money.
Oh, so it's kind of like a cheat code.
Exactly.
Because if you do it bad and you in a public school, they just go stick you in remedial or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you got money, they can just put you in private school and it's all good.
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So like I said, it's not in all cases, but I found that out, in a lot of where I was. So like I still saw a lot of it. We saw people selling drugs in the bathroom, people getting kicked out and expelled for, huffing, pain, and all this different type of stuff, sex in the stairwell, all that stuff. Private Christian school.
Crazy.
Christian school.
That's, you know what? I've come across so many people because I'm single and I've been single for a couple of years now. And they were like, oh, why don't you just get a church girl? And I'm like, no, not saying that's wrong, but honestly, my opinion, 90% of them girls in the church ain't no good, bro. They, just like you said, they doing all that crazy stuff, sexing in the stairwell and drugs and probably got 3 babies and all of that stuff. But where did you meet your wife?
I actually met my wife, let's see, so 4 or 5 years after I graduated at Cinemark. We was at Cinemark at the movie theater,
She was working there, or
she was
just in there?
I actually started working there I worked there for probably a year or two before I met her. She came and then she ended up becoming my manager before I left.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
yeah.
So she was working there. That's what's up.
But it's crazy too because like we talked about this in episode 2, where I really got I fully fell into my relationship after we had been dating for a while.
Yeah.
So
it was because of her more, you think? Like
I would attribute it to more of her because she was in church and she wanted me to be there.
Yeah.
So that kind of sparked that. Why am I not in church? Because I wasn't in church as much as I was when I was little.
Right. I get you. So like she kind of pulled, well, I don't want to say pull because that sounds like a manipulative thing, but she encouraged you to walk on the path a little bit better, right?
Right, because she was like, you can do all these other things, so why you can't come to church with me once or twice a week? Like when it was mainly the Wednesdays.
Yeah,
Wednesdays at 7 p.m. It was just like I could be doing all these. It's like every event that I wanted to go to was happening on Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Yep, everything happens at 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
you want to go to church?
Yeah,
it's hard. Like for me, I just woke up one day and was like, this ain't it. This ain't what's up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go get back to doing this because for me, once I'm out of the church, things go bad. Once I'm in the church, things start to look up.
It's crazy.
So it's pretty cut and dry
like
for me.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it don't work like that, but for me, I know this is what's up, because it's just sun and moon for me. So being in the church, well, after you grew in the church and you started venturing in other things, do you ever get to the point? Because for me, I wake up, I'm so routine. You know, I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I eat dinner, I watch certain TV shows because I have them like DVR'd or whatever. I go to bed, rinse and repeat. You know what I'm saying? So routine. And it's like, man, what is my purpose? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Because I know I'm not supposed to be going to work beating on metal every day and forming pipes every day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a good thing because I'm helping the world with, you know, because the world you can't do nothing without pipes.
Right.
You know? So, but I just feel like sometimes I'm like, should I be doing something else? And I'm like, man, kind of the reason I'm sitting here. Not that this is my purpose, but it gives me a place to like vent a little bit.
Right.
But you ever feel like that? Like, man, what am I supposed to be doing with myself? Because for me, it's like, I don't have no kids. And I hear all this stuff about a high value man. And you got to have a business and then build an empire. And I'm like, well, what's the point of having all of that stuff, right? If you don't have a family to share it with. Because for me, a successful man is you got a good family and a legacy, right? With your kids. That's success to me. It's not necessarily being a millionaire or doing some world changing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So for you, how do you feel about it?
Right. Like I want to hit on one topic that you just spoke about. Success means something different to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own version of success. Like some of them is just for their kids to, you know, have a
just be decent.
Exactly. Like, or they want to go that next level up, do better than what their parents did. Like, for instance, like, let's say none of your previous generation went to college.
Yeah.
You going to college and graduating, it's considered successful in
Bro,
their
that
eyes.
was such a big deal to my family because
Exactly.
they didn't do it, and I went to college, and they was just like, "Yeah,
Exactly.
you made it." And
Exactly.
I was like, "Really? I'm just going to school more.
Right.
I'm just doing more school.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Success means something different to everybody. So it's really tough, like looking at social media and how, like, everybody's telling you how your story is supposed to go.
Shout out to
Shout out to Miles Morales.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
real.
saying? But yeah, like that's really how it is. Like, so I'm glad we're having this discussion because I've been thinking a lot about purpose because I work at a local urgent care in my city, Texarkana, of course. IT. When it first started, you know, IT wasn't my first choice. I didn't have a choice. It's not even that I didn't have a choice. It's just I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do.
And it seemed like a good lane to get some success in.
Exactly. It's something I was good at, so I just went with it. But what I found, it's not the rule. This is just a formula that I found to help get closer to your purpose.
Yeah.
Taking something that's your passion, a skill, sometimes it's even a trauma, that thing that somebody comes to you over everybody else and they think that you're an expert in. If you take any combination of any of that and then you ask the question, how can I solve a problem? Or how can I help people?
Right.
And if you can combine any combination of this with any combination of that
and meet in the middle,
and you get closer to your purpose. Yeah. I'm not even going to say that's going to get you at where your actual purpose is, but it'll guide you closer in that direction. I feel like that combined is going to lead to something that's attached to your purpose, really.
Like if you have a child, well, I know you're going to have a child. I'm saying that like you're not going to have a child. When you have a child,
yeah.
Are you, and they say, I want to make movies or whatever. Are you going to like push them to do that? Or, are you just going to let them like roll with it? Or are you going to be like, well, you know, the odds of that happening are 2%, blah, blah, blah. How are you going to approach that?
I'm going to encourage it. If that's what you think that you want to do, of course, oftentimes as a kid, what you want to do kind of changes as you grow up.
Yeah.
But shoot, I'm gonna encourage it. Like if that's what you think that you want to do, because that's another way that you find your purpose is you try a few different things.
Because I've seen a lot of situations where the parents, young parents, they just push them to do this because that's what everybody's doing. It's the formula. Oh, my son's gonna play football, so you're forcing them to play football. You don't even like football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're forcing them to play basketball, don't even like that. I was like, I had a friend and I was like, yo, have you ever asked your daughter what she wants to do? And he was like, what you mean? And I was like, well, me knowing you, I know you like to do this, but she doesn't seem too into it. You know what I'm saying? And I even said, I was like, I don't think that's her purpose. I don't think she's supposed to be doing that. I was like, that's your passion. And he was like, well, no, I never really talked to her about it. And I touched base with him like a couple of weeks ago, and she's now doing art, which is what she wanted to do in the first place. And she's really good for her age. She getting good real quick.
Right.
So I thought that was dope. Because what she was
dope.
doing before, she wasn't into it. I could see it on her face. She wasn't feeling it.
Right.
But for me, I dropped out of college because I just wasn't into it. I never could key in on what I wanted to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything I enjoy wasn't in college. You know what I'm saying? I like being around kids. I like doing art. And at that college, art is not like a thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can take it, but it's really useless. You know what I mean? They make you feel that way. So it was like, I don't want to take this here, especially when I feel like my work ain't being appreciated. Because I don't do art in the traditional sense. Like all them techniques and stuff they be teaching you, I don't do that. Doesn't work for me. But my stuff comes out just as good or better. And they wasn't really feeling that, so they were giving me like lower grades because I wasn't following the formula. And everybody's saying, oh, your stuff is so good. And, you know, so I was like, this ain't it. I like being around kids, but teaching is not, you know what I'm saying? It's terrible. And I know I didn't want to teach. So then I was like, maybe I should be like open a youth center or something. And then it was like, well, I like this. Maybe I should be on the radio. And I just never really figured out that. Like, that's why I was like, I don't know what my purpose is right now.
Right.
And I still don't.
Right.
Because my head's still all over the place with a whole bunch of stuff I like to do. So it's just weird. So I have a pretty stable job. Like, my job don't suck, but it sucks because I don't really enjoy it. But it pays the bills and it gives me room to breathe because it pays pretty decent. But still, sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, dang. For me, I'm looking at my circle of friends. They all have what I think is success. They're all married, have kids, or on their way to having kids. And I'm not married. I don't even have a girlfriend, right? And I have this job that's just like stale. You know what I mean? So I look at that and I'm thinking, as a Christian, I was like, sometimes I like get mad, and right when I feel like I'm about to blame God and be like, man, why are you doing this to me? I just like, you know what? There has to be something out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he keeps waking me up. He keeps it in my head, right?
Right.
So I just got to figure it out. And I feel like it's probably right in my face. And I just haven't, somebody just got to hit me over the head.
Oh, yeah.
I have that moment, but I haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
How you feel about that for yourself? Like, what's your passion and stuff? Or purpose?
Yeah, like, because... For example, like since I'm good at technology, I really had to ask myself like, what problem can I solve? Like, how can I help somebody out? Yeah. So you know that's where this came from. This podcasting studio, like, because there's people out there that podcasting is huge now, and there's people that want to start their own podcast. There's people that they want to start, but they don't know how to start. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to work the equipment. They can't afford the equipment, whatever.
Yeah.
So here I am. I step in and I solve that problem for them. So like I said, that it's just taking a passion or skill or whatever and combining it with
this.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I found one of mine. I don't even think that this is my purpose.
Yeah,
I think this is just attached.
A whole bunch of stuff.
Exactly. So like, but this is gonna propel me up closer to it. That's how I see it, anyways.
Facts.
But like you said, though, like I had a moment where I was looking around at my friends and I was just like, bro. But I had to stop comparing myself.
But you know what's crazy? They all come to me for advice. I was like, ain't that weird? Like,
exactly.
Why are you coming to me for like?
Because everybody has like, I can't even remember what book it was, but every person that you meet is better than you at something. Every person. There's something that you can learn from every person that you meet. So like you have something that all these people around you need.
I suppose so, because both Dustin and Clyde have said that I'm the glue of the group.
Yeah.
So when I left, things just kind of like fell apart. So I think about that too. I was like, well, maybe I'm just supposed to do something where I can like give advice, free game or whatever. And maybe I can like turn that into something to survive off of, something substantial to survive off of, because I seem to be pretty good at it. I have people funny story. Coworker of mine yesterday comes up to me and goes, Gary, I have a situation. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I want to take my wife to dinner, right? And he's like, but I want to keep it under $100. But I was like, but I want to drink. And I'm like, okay. So what kind of food does she like? And he was like, well, she really likes Golden Corral or whatever. And I was like, well, what do you want? And he was like, well, I kind of want Italian. And I was like, well, this being a small town, that leaves you with Golden Corral, obviously, because she likes that. And then that leaves you with Olive Garden, right? And he goes, but we always go to Golden Corral. And I was like, well, maybe change is good. And he goes like, I'm going to Olive Garden. I'm like, cool. Walks away, he comes back. And he goes, I have another situation.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, okay, what's up? And he goes, there's this girl. No, he says, do you believe in hall passes? I'm like, no, I don't. That's cheating. He's like, but you get permission. And I'm like, it's still cheating. And he was like, so if she knows about it, it's still cheating. And I was like, yeah, it is. And I say that because it's like, it's just like you're stepping out. Mm-hmm. This is your wife.
Right.
Whether she knows it or not, you're still going to lay with another woman. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
So he goes, okay, well, what if she's done it too? So I was like, so it's like a get back? Is that what you're saying? And he was like, yeah, kind of. And I was like, I wouldn't recommend it. If that's the case, y'all need to sit down and talk. Might have to break up. Right? Cool. Walks away. Comes back again.
Oh, man. Goodness.
And I'm like, all right, what's up? He goes, I thought about what you said. I'm not going to do it. I was like, you're not going to do what? You're not going to talk to her, or you're not going to sleep with the other girl? He was like, I'm not going to sleep with the other girl. I was like, cool. I appreciate you taking my advice, because I feel like that would have been terrible. Right? And he was like, but we are going to talk about it, and I'm probably going to call you again. And I was like, you know where my section is, like where I work at. So I'll be here.
Well.
Yeah, I'll be here. So I feel like maybe I'm supposed to be doing that, because people always come to me with these situations like that, or crazier ones.
Right.
And they always come back and say, man, your advice worked.
Hey,
I got a high win rate here.
Right. There's a such thing as a relationship life coach.
Is there?
Yeah.
I mean, there is. You know what? I never thought about that. I don't know if I want to do that, though.
You don't even have to, like, life coaching is broad.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do relationship. You could just be a life coach, like a general, whatever. Like, just look into life coaching.
Yeah. I don't feel I'm qualified. I haven't done much in life, I don't think. But hey, it is what it is. But I don't know. I think about that a lot. And I see people, and they're doing all this stuff. Some good, some bad. And it's like, man, why am I stuck in this void? Right?
Right.
I'm kind of thinking it might be just me in my own head. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But if someone presented you a situation right now where they're like, I'm going to offer you X amount of dollars, and you have to kill this podcast thing and just do the IT thing fully, what are you going to do?
I'm not doing it.
Not doing it?
I'm not killing this, because this 5 years, bro, going on 6 years, I've been doing the IT thing. Mm-hmm. So for 5 going on 6 years, I felt that void, that draining. Like, I started out in IT like just gung ho,
right? But
as time went on, it became draining. It's not what I meant. I don't believe I'm meant to do that. It's so boring and mundane, job, bro. Like the potential, the ceiling with this podcast thing, or any business a person starts, the ceiling with it is there is no ceiling. Mm-hmm. So I mean, technically, there's no ceiling with IT either. But if you ain't passionate about it, I mean,
If your heart ain't in it, you ain't
exactly.
going nowhere.
So it's like, what am I doing here?
Exactly.
So I wouldn't get, because I could end up making more than whatever they offer me, the podcast thing, or any other business that I might be propelled to or sparked to start in the future.
Yeah. So being behind the mic, what is your reason for doing a podcast? Is it for money, or is it just?
So I thought about that too.
Because I was like, I'd probably do this. A buddy of mine said, "Man, you got to talk yourself up. And you know, you doing a podcast, you finna blow up." And I was like, "Bruh, I'm not tripping if I don't make a dime off of this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just like to talk.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I like to get my thoughts out. Because I don't do journals. My writing is terrible. Sometimes I go back and I can't read my own writing. So putting my thoughts on paper ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So at least here I can just talk and get it out, you know. So for you, is it a money thing or is it a help thing?
Like, in all honesty, the money will come in anyways. And now I'm not gonna say that there's no money thoughts in it, because I mean it is. Like, if I want to survive, I got to do something that's sustainable.
Yeah.
But my original goal is to provide a place for people that, you know, to help people basically. Because like I said, like either people don't know how to start, either they don't know how to run the technology, either they can't afford it, or even providing a safe haven for people to come and talk and get their thoughts out.
Yeah.
That's really my goal, or my purpose behind it all. I want to, because like that could help. So basically I'm becoming a, what's the term? Like an instrument people use to get their voice out to the world, essentially. Because they could say something that sparks somebody else over here to do something great. So it ends up being like a domino effect. So
yeah, I can see that. That's really what I want to do. I just want to say something to make someone be like, you know what?
Right.
I'm about to do that. Or yeah, he right. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
And hopefully I can help somebody if they hear this. That's my goal. And if like one person or 1,000 people, you know what I'm saying? If I could do that, that's dope to me. And then that's where I'm at with it. Cause my mom refuses to be on camera. I'm like, yo, you gotta come do an episode with me, just one. And she's like, no. I was like, but you got so much information and so much knowledge. And she's like, nope, I don't want to be on camera. And I was like, she said, I don't know how to be on camera. I was like, you just sit there and talk. You know?
Pretend like the camera not even there.
You can look at me the whole time.
The whole time.
And she was like, no. And I was like, well, if you do it and we just don't show you, right? And she was still like, no. So
man,
I'm gonna get her on though. I'm gonna get her on. I promise you I'm gonna get her on here. I don't know how, but I'm gonna do it. But funny question. I'm gonna start asking everyone that's on this pod this question. What came first, the chicken or the egg, right?
I want to say the chicken, but I think the answer is the egg.
Why?
You know what? Forget it, because I can't remember why the answer is the egg. I'm gonna say the chicken. And my argument, from what I can remember right now, I'm gonna say God created the chicken. But I actually think the actual answer is a chicken is actually a mix between two different type of animals. So I think the egg came first because the two different animals had to connect to make the egg. Then the chickens came to be. I think that's actually the answer.
So it was an interracial relationship? How do you feel about interracial relationships?
I'm all for it. And I don't. Okay. Transparent moment. All right. Transparent moment. Before I met my wife, even my wife will say this. Everybody that knew me back then would say this.
You like white girls?
It's not that. Nobody said that I would end up with a black girl. Nobody said that
for me either.
They said
like,
you cannot handle a black girl, is what they told me.
Bruh.
I'm telling you. But like I said, back then, I wasn't even chasing black girls back then though.
Chasing nobody.
I was.
It's not my style. I'm too reserved for that, I guess.
So I'm super reserved, but back then in high school, I was chasing.
That's funny. So what are your views on interracial relationships? You just don't care, or?
I mean, they don't bother me. I mean, if I have a daughter one day and she likes a white dude, an Asian dude, Hispanic, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. I mean, logically, you can tell that depending on how their family members think, it's gonna be hard for them, especially if it's something along the lines of it's something that they're not used to, or somebody in their family doesn't like the mixing or whatever, depending on how different religions or whatever.
That's what I was about to say. I was
know?
like, so when it comes to a culture thing and the clashes start, how would you like? Does that make a difference, or you just kind of like overlook it?
I mean, you just, if you love somebody, I mean, you just gonna handle it, you know? Like, problems are gonna come regardless. Like even when me and my wife got together, we had to deal with me having cancer. We had to deal with her having different sicknesses. You're gonna have issues regardless of what. So like,
Yeah.
you just got to deal with it.
So love conquers all is what you're saying.
That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm going with.
I feel that. I ask you that because like coming from a family that's pretty much black, like for the most part, they kind of low key hate if you in a you know what I'm saying? They don't outright be like, no, but you can tell.
You
It's
can
like,
tell.
You love Kato.
You
don't
can
like
tell.
this,
Yeah.
do you?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I talk to my grandma a lot, and she'll be like, "No, right?" She was like, "No, you need to get your black girl because of this and this and this and everything is so pre-programmed with her." But I understand why, because I mean she's older. She went through that
Exactly.
rough times. And then when my mom says it, my mom is real slick with this. This is what she does, right? She'll be like, "Oh, you should get a black girl because of this, this, and this," and low-key trash everybody else, but then be like, "But you can bring home who you want. I'm gonna love them the same." And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, so I gotta get a black girl. That's what I'm thinking. Because she'll like dress it up real nice to say, "No, I'm not really feeling that."
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want.
Exactly.
And like my ex wasn't black. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, it's weird because my stepmom is white.
Okay.
And my sister is white.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So on my dad's side of the family, there's a lot of interracial relationships. Well, there's not a lot. There's like three or four, right? So they're good with it. But I'm more on my mom's side of the family. Like I was raised on the side of the family. I just go visit them. So it's interesting for me to hear both sides because I'm like, I can see the pros and the cons.
Oh,
I've lived the pros and cons. Like I remember taking my sister to the mall, right? She was like, I want to say she was like 9. And it's already weird enough you got this black dude walking with this little white girl.
Right. You got all type of looks.
We got all types of looks. We go in the store and the people is following me like I done kidnapped her.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, this is my sister.
Yeah.
Like get off my back. And they're like, oh, well, they start asking you some stupid questions like, let me see your ID. And like, I'm lying, right?
Right.
Does she have ID? What's her name? And I'm like basically having to give them a rundown.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because she's white. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So dealing with stuff like that, I don't know if I want to on a consistent basis. Well, now I'm used to it, but back then, that's how I used to think.
Right.
And then I going back to the you can't handle a black girl, right? I had a situation I say it's a situation because we weren't really together and she was black, right? This is like my recent situation. I'm not going to call it a relationship because it wasn't. She was like, she was a lot, but it wasn't nothing like I couldn't deal with. Her thing was she wanted the ball to move too fast. I felt like she was trying to trap me, really. No, I know that sounds messed up, but she wanted to go from dating to like living together. You know what I'm saying? Like we went on a couple of dates and she's already talking about, oh, yo, you think you want to move down there with me? And I'm like, no.
Straight up.
No, I said no. And she wasn't like expecting me to just, and she would do like little goofy stuff. Like since we weren't together, she would call me because she lived out of town, and she would call me and be like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna go on a date tonight," and I'm like, "Cool, have fun," you know. And she was like, "Not." She really ain't going on no date, but she was like frustrated. And when she would come on the weekends because we're both off on the weekends, and she would be like, "I ain't going on no date. I just wanted to see what you would say," and I'm like, What do you mean? Why would you do something like that? Why would you even do that? Because see, that right there made me like her less. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she was trying to like make me jealous to gauge how much I'm feeling her. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I told her, I was like, doing stuff like that just really like dropped some points. Like I said, you dropped like 10 points out of 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "I'm not with that goofy stuff." I call it anything out of the ordinary or annoying to me, I say goofy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not with that goofy stuff. And that's the thing that I've noticed between races. They all move different. I've noticed this because I have actually dated a girl from every race. My very first girlfriend was Asian, and she did not move like that. She was super intelligent, but very blunt. And I'm very blunt in situations, so we bumped heads a lot.
I bet y'all did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mexican chick, she was a little short-tempered off stuff that she shouldn't have got mad off of, but at least she had the respect enough to not blow up in public. She would wait till we like left wherever we was at, then she'd just trip out. Why was she looking at you like that? You said you didn't know her, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't. I was like, she was at you saw her at the register just like I did. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And then, white girls, believe it or not, they're actually really easy to vibe with. They're very level-headed in situations where other races would trip out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why black dudes gravitate toward them. Because I always get the whole, oh, black dudes is selling out for white chicks. It's not that. It's just like once you've experienced each race or each culture, you go with what fits your personality best. And for me, I'm not bashing on any race or black women. I haven't come across a black woman yet that doesn't do that goofy stuff just to get a reaction. You know what I'm saying? All of them I've encountered do that. Even the chick at work, right? She is on the forum press, and she's like beautiful. Like she's 10 on 10, 10, right? Hair always on point, nails on point, which I don't know how she does it considering where we work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She comes in, she says hello. I say, hey, what's up? And that's it. Did I do anything wrong?
I mean, you just
said, hey, what's up, right?
Right.
Tell me why. She comes to me on break. I'm at the vending machine. You know how the girls will do that little bump, shoulder bump to get your attention. She's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm on break.
Yeah.
What's up? And she was like, oh, I ain't want nothing. I just wanted to say hi. And I'm like, all right, well, how's your day going? And she was like, it's cool, making small talk. Because we only get 10 minutes for break. So I'm really not trying to use my 10 minutes on her. But,
right.
So I go into the cafeteria, sit down, put my headphones on.
Right.
She wasn't feeling that. She does it again. This time she comes over to my workstation and she has an attitude. And I don't know why. She like gives me the shop order. She like kind of slammed it on the paper and like walked away. And I look at Q and I'm like, what? And he goes, bro, he was like, you not giving her the attention she wants. And I'm like, what you mean? And I said hello. I could have ignored her. And he was like, no, man, you gotta, you know how black chicks are, girls out here, we move like this. And I'm like, bro, I'm at work. I'm not trying to like give you that kind of attention. I could cut my finger off. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, you can't take hello. If you really wanted to talk, why didn't you just holler at me in the parking lot on the way out? Like, you're married, so you have more experience with that. Why are people like that?
Man.
Females. Why are females like that?
Well, I can't answer that because my wife is not like that. If she has a thought about something, she gonna let she gonna let you have it. She's not gonna sugarcoat it. If she has this feeling and she needs to discuss it, she gonna give you a little bit, and then it's like, all right, we need to talk about this, you know. So I can't answer that question because my wife don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, see, so I'm just in this boat alone. I don't know what to do. I got to deal with this girl now at work, but it's whatever. Question: being married, does it make your value go up in the other women's eyes?
It's so weird because I think it does because, like, well, it depends too on both sides, men and women, married or not, or married. It's like I feel like some men and women just like the idea of a married man because it's like they have more experience, you know, in some aspects, or it's like me and my wife had a discussion about this because it's like in some cases when different people got married, more people wanted to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like for some reason, like they didn't give them the time of day, but then the moment that they got married, is like people was sending them DMs, and because people send Keela or my wife DMs all the time. Still, it's so weird. And what's crazy is like these dudes don't be thinking I know, but it be people that I know sometimes,
like your homeboys,
not anybody that's close to me, but people
like
that I'm around with sometimes. So it's just like for one, okay, so you're not giving me my respect,
exactly,
because you know me, you know us, and you know we together, but you gonna still DM my wife. You know what I'm saying?
This world is so heartless, man.
It's weird. People are weird, bad, bro. But like, I assume it does. To me, it don't, because I'm just wired differently. So if she married, then she don't exist to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you married. Get away from me.
But when I was talking
not get away from me, but
right.
You know what I'm saying?
But when I was talking to my wife, she was like, not everybody mind works like that. Some people want that challenge or whatever.
What, to break up a happy home? Is that the challenge? Because my thing is, you see this couple and they're happy,
right,
and you break them up. You inflicted misery on the person you're after's life, right?
Right.
So you break this situation up, this marriage up, and you get that person. He's already miserable now, and he's already got a built up resentment towards you because you're the one that broke up his happy situation in the first place.
Right. But they don't be looking at that though. Because I'm gonna tell you how they do it. Because what they're like, they're kind of like chipping, basically. They're just chipping away at it. They're asking questions, basically, like, how you and your man doing, or like they waiting for that moment to where like there's a disconnect, and then that's when they try to slide in, and it's not just men, people at home, it's not just men, women do it too, like but they don't be thinking about that, bro. They don't be thinking about the fact that, you know, it's gonna mess up a happy home. What they be thinking about was, okay, so you're not having a good time with your woman right now or whatever, your man right now, so I can change that, you know.
Yep. I saw I don't know if it was on TV or on YouTube or something, but this woman said that women break up 6 months before they actually break up. They break up in their head.
I heard about that. Yeah.
I like, that's crazy to me because a dude, we will rather, at least from what I've seen, we would rather like work and try to fix it than to just walk away from the situation. Well, a woman will mentally check out months in advance and already be on some other stuff, and it's dead in the water.
Yeah.
And the dude is still doing all this stuff. Why not just let him go?
And comfortable. It's tough too because a lot of relationships still go on because of comfort, and you know, like a lot of people have so much tied together that it'd be too much of a hassle in a sense.
Yeah.
To end it.
It's
you know, you got
you
kids, you got memories. This person really knows you and is comfortable with you. Now you got to go through that whole process of getting comfortable and learning somebody else. I don't imagine that's all too fun. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like learning people. Like, that's part of the reason I'm single right now, because you got to learn their habits. You got to learn their little quirks, what they like, what they don't like.
They triggers.
Man, yeah, their triggers.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm pretty simple. You know, I just need some good movies and some wings, some little bit of time for my video games, and I'm straight. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But women, they got so much going on. And it's like, man, that's nuts. But as a Christian, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where, let me rephrase this. You're married, your relationship is good, and you see someone and you're like, man, she look good. Mm-hmm. Some people see that as cheating. I had a conversation with a lady last night, mm-hmm. and she was like, if you're looking or anything of that nature is cheating, right? And I'm like, so basically, I was like, so you've cheated a lot, right? Because there's no way you're telling me that you haven't found someone else attractive or cute. You know what I'm saying? And she just kind of backpedaled. And she was like, no, you got to do it like this. So how you feel when somebody comes at you like that?
I completely disagree, first of all, because, I mean, we're visual creatures, first of all. What am I supposed to do? Walk around with like blindfolds on? Like, that's
what I'm thinking. Like, am I supposed to just walk around with my eyes closed?
Exactly. Like, I personally don't consider it cheating if you see somebody and think, that they're pretty or whatever. What I think is cheating is if it goes further than that.
If you act upon it.
If you act upon it. Or if you even take the thoughts even further than she's pretty, Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I consider cheating. I don't consider it like, there's plenty of beautiful women out there. And there's a bunch of attractive men. I'm comfortable in my sexuality, so I don't even care about none of that. There's some attractive dudes out there.
Hate when dudes say pause.
Yeah.
That to me comes off as you're so insecure in your manhood that you gotta say pause after every 3 words.
Yeah.
What's going on in your head?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can get back with I didn't mean to cut you off.
Bro, I get it. But like that's what I'm saying. Like there's plenty of attractive people out there in the world, and like you can't just turn it off. I mean, you gonna see them, but it's also your responsibility to, my eyes is on my wife, like this person's attractive, but this person ain't my wife, this person can't do me, and this person wasn't there for me when I went through this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't know if they will be.
Exactly. Like I don't know if they can handle my because I'm weird. Like,
bro,
if my wife can handle my weirdness, you might not be. No, I'm not finna give up what I got just because this person might look a little good, whatever.
The one person that could like handle my level of weird, we didn't work out.
Right.
So you can imagine where I'm at right now. Cause I be on some stuff sometimes. Sometimes she would just sit there and be like, yo, what? Why you do it like that? I'm like, it's just how I do it. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, I be on some weird stuff, bro. And she just be laughing at me. Like, I love anime. And there's a lot of people out there that frown upon anime. But my wife will sit down. Exactly. My wife will sit down and watch a whole series with me. And it's wild to me because like I feel like for the first time I let down walls that I had never let down before with my wife.
I'm probably never gonna let those walls down again. That's just something I'll do on my own time. Like my little free time, I'll throw an episode, try to get 2 in if I can. Because it's hard to find a girl that's just interested in the same stuff I'm in. If we can like the same movies, that's like a win for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm super weird. I don't like once the trailers start, don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the last girl I went on a date with, we went to the movies because she wanted to see the movie. I didn't even want to see this movie, but I'll watch any movie. So I went and we were talking and it's cool. And I was like, all right, movie's finna start. She said, oh yeah, I know you don't like talking through the movie. She sat there, right? She got quiet for like 45 seconds. 2 trailers in, she starts running her mouth. And I'm like, cool, I'm not tripping. It's the trailers. They don't really count. I think they count. I think that's the best part of the movie, actually. But I'm overlooking that because I'm kind of liking her. So she says, she's talking through the trailers, and I was like, all right, the movie's starting, like the actual movie. So she gets quiet, watching the movie. Why does she want to have a whole conversation that has absolutely nothing to do with this film?
Not a whole conversation.
Bro, I tried to be short. I tried to answer her question really quickly and get back to the film. But she just really wanted to just talk. And I'm like, you don't want to pick... I hate it. I hate it, bro. Like that's not even weird. Is that weird to like not want to talk during a movie?
I don't think that's weird at all. Me and
All
my so it's a little weird because when we first started, I was exactly like that. I didn't want to have any type of conversation at all. I'm here. I'm focused. I'm honed in. Do not talk to me. But as we've gotten, even closer now, like we're not gonna sit there and have a full conversation, mind you. Like I think that especially if it's something that doesn't have anything to do with the movie.
If you comment on the movie, then
exactly.
I can roll with it a little bit. But I'm still not trying to talk a lot,
right? But we be sitting there cracking jokes about the movie, about different things here and there. But it's not a full on conversation. It's just like little short remarks.
She wanted to talk, like it's TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you can pause it.
Yeah, like we can't pause this.
Yeah,
this is a movie.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't be during the best part. So I'm just like.
I do when we at home and because I do this to her too, but I'm gonna pick on her. I'll be watching the show and like when we watching a movie, I'll be watching the show and I'm focused in. Sometimes I don't even hear you. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching the show and my wife will start talking about something and I'll pause it because I'm like I want to be respectful for you and give you full attention, but I also don't want to miss this. But if I have them both going at the same time, somebody's gonna get more attention. So
it's
like,
gonna be the anime.
Exactly. So let me pause this and give you the full. Because at first she wasn't feeling that. Also, why you gotta pause your show? Like, am I interrupting you?
Yeah.
First, that's why I paused
it. That's the whole purpose of me pausing it. Like, what do you mean? Are you interrupting me? What kind of question is that?
Funny, bro. It's so funny. But yeah, I think it's just something you kind of like in a sense compromise. In a sense, you kind of get used to. So, I mean, I pause it.
Yeah.
And then we don't have full conversations during an actual movie.
Do you have subtitles on, like, in general or just on anime?
And it depends. Because sometimes I'm having hearing issues, so I'll turn it on. Mm-hmm. Or if they have strong accents, I'm turning it on. But most of the times I don't have. But if it's anime, I'll turn the subtitles on. Or if it's, like I said, strong accents. Because sometimes I just don't be understanding what they're saying. And I want to be able to pick up the little minute things. So, like, I don't know which word you just said. So, okay, that's the word.
I'm a subtitler, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll have subtitles on everything.
Okay.
So, my last real relationship, we're watching TV for the first time. It was the first time she, like, came over to the crib and was staying over. Mm-hmm. We're watching TV and she was like, why are the subtitles on? And I'm like, that way I don't miss nothing, because if you might not catch what they saying, you can look on the screen. She used to complain about the subtitles, like, for months. So one day she went to work and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn the subtitles off and deal with it. Turned the subtitles off. She comes home because she has her shows and I have my shows, and we just kind of watch them together unless it's anime.
Right.
Because I'm not watching anime with her. So she's watching the show and she paused it. And she was like confused. And I'm like, what you mean? I was like, what's wrong? Why you turn the subtitles off? I'm like, what? I turned the subtitles off for you. And she was like, did you have somebody else in here watching TV?
Oh, no.
I'm like, no.
Oh, man.
I was like, ain't nobody coming up. I was like, no. I was like, unless it was, she has a daughter. Like, unless it was her. And she was like, well, why'd you turn the subtitles off? She can't read that fast. She doesn't like to read or whatever. Right. I was like, I turned the subtitles off because you complained about these subtitles for 3 months solid.
Right.
So I turned them off and now you're mad. What is going on? And then she like didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. I turned the subtitles back on. She was like really mad about it.
Oh man.
I'm like, she was like, well, you could have told me. And I'm like, what do you want from me? What am I gonna tell you? Hey, baby, I'm gonna turn the subtitles off for you. What? It's like, are you just like, what is going on? Does that happen to you? Like some just random argument over nothing? Something so trivial?
So, yes. Both sides, though. Because something trivial is sometimes it's something trivial to me, but it's important to her, or vice versa. I can't even think of any examples right now off the top of my head, but it's I can't think of any.
She felt like since she had adjusted that for me,
For you,
I should have just left it. Because now it's like she did all that adjusting for nothing.
Yeah.
I guess I was like, dang, kind of felt bad now that I think about it just now.
I guess she wanted a text message. Hey, baby, I'm turning these subtitles off for you. You know,
I think I'm turning the subtitles off tonight. How you feeling about that?
Wanted a full on discussion, I guess.
I need your approval for this. I don't know, just stuff like that. Just I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I think in every relationship there's gonna be like little trivial arguments because, like I said, like it's gonna be trivial to one side, but not the other. It's gonna mean the world to the other side. I know there's a lot of times that my wife, she wants, something done a certain way, and to me, I'm like, it just needs to be done,
Yeah.
But she wants it done a certain way, so you adjust, I guess,
So has the situation ever happened to you where you guys start a series together and one or the other finish it without the partner?
Yes. For example, My Hero Academia. I'm fully caught up on that junk. And every so often she'll be like, oh yeah, you finished it, huh? Yeah, because, I actually forgot that we was watching it together because we had went so long. So she doesn't like watching subtitles. So we try to watch it dubbed when we watch it. Well, for some reason, the dub was taking forever. And I had forgotten. Me and my friends was talking about it. And I'm like, I want to know what's going on. So I started watching it. And I kept watching it. And then I thought about it. When we were talking about it one day, I was like, what? I caught up and we didn't catch up together. We definitely started it together.
You're like, man, I left her.
I left her. Oh, well, we didn't.
Well, too late now. That was 400 episodes ago. Literally 400.
Oh, man.
Well, I've had a situation where we started a series together. She finished it one day. She binge watched it while I was at work because we had different days off that week. Yeah. We usually have our days off with land together.
Yeah.
But that week, like every other week, it'll be like different. So she finished the series. And I come home, take my shower and eat. And I'm like, yeah, turn on the show. Oh, I finished it. No, she didn't even tell me. I went to, how you can go on there and it'll show that you watched it. I'm like, hold up.
Hold on.
I didn't watch all these.
Oh, man.
Bro, I didn't even finish that series to this day.
Oh, man.
I just didn't finish it. I didn't even say, I looked at her. She was like, well, I got bored. I was like, you got 14 other shows in the queue.
Right.
And you want to watch the one that we watching together. And you want to finish that one?
Oh, I see how it is.
I see what's up now. Okay. And I never finished that series. I thought about that the other day. I was like, man, I should probably finish that.
There's definitely been a few series that she finished without me because, like, I don't generally sit down and watch a lot.
I haven't even finished Stranger Things because of her.
True. I think I only watched like 2 or 3 episodes of Stranger Things. Man. But she can binge watch. I don't typically binge watch anything. I can watch 1 or 2 episodes, especially like, nowadays there's like shows with like 53 minutes in it and stuff like that.
Hour-long episodes.
Exactly. I can watch like 2 of them.
You're
and then like exactly, I'm ready to go do this or whatever. And she trying to watch it, she trying to see what happens. So there's been a few times where she like, you know what? Since you can't, I'm gonna finish this.
Man, I feel like that's important in the relationship. If y'all start a series together, y'all gotta finish it. That's like a bonding experience.
Exactly.
You just go off and finish it by yourself.
So we can talk about it.
What we gonna talk about now? That's a whole month of conversation dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll not be, ladies, don't do that.
Got time invested.
Yeah, we putting time into this, and especially if we actually start to like the show that you picked.
Oh,
come on,
man.
Come on, man. I still haven't watched Stranger Things. They got a whole new season out. I'm not even gonna watch it now.
I probably won't watch it.
I had started it with her.
Oh, yeah, you definitely won't watch it then.
I'm not going to finish it. It's over with.
Unless you start over from episode 1.
Yeah, I don't want to start all the way over. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to let it go. I see the trailers for it. Well, when the last season came out, I saw the trailer and I was like, man, that looks like it was good. But I don't know how they got to that point. I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't want to know because she finished it without me.
Man.
That's just a small example. But as far as being weird, I just have stuff like around the house that I do.
Yeah.
That I'm not even trying to like let somebody learn all that stuff over again.
Bro.
Because I'm like, really?
Bro. I couldn't say some of the weird stuff I do in public.
That's what I'm saying. That's like you really think I was on some weirdo stuff?
Bro, like I'm telling you, if people could see into my life, they'd be like, bruh. Like
somebody told me, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but
you
somebody
said
told me to do a vlog of my day, right?
Ooh.
Like my day. I mean, I could do one, but I would like edit it up to where it's like normal.
Yeah.
If I just really showed y'all my day to day, y'all really think I'm like super
just a
like,
weirdo. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
I feel that. Like, cause like you said, like I couldn't do it, bro. I don't think nobody else in the world can take, cause like she just like it's just another day, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you weird. It's cool though, whatever.
Yeah, I'm
you know?
used to it.
Yeah.
That's how you know that's your partner. Like that's your soulmate. If they can take your weirdness and just be like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They look at it like if you don't do that, it's something wrong.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go, right there.
If you don't do it, they're gonna be like, what's wrong
There
with
you go. There you go.
What's in your head? Talk to me.
Yeah.
Right? But no, not me. I'm not doing that whole process again. Cause it was weird enough. I'm gonna tell you like this. I get this from my dad. It's very like if we have people come over to the crib, like we like really like trust them or we're cool with. Like you could come to the crib and like Clyde or somebody, right?
Yeah.
But that's it. I only have like 1, 2, 3 people out of all my friends that have ever been to my house.
Right.
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 Been inside. I mean,
Right.
they've been there, but so for me to like have her come into my living quarters and like see my bedroom and my dresser and my socks. I'm a big socks person. I got like a ton of socks. So she's seeing my like weird socks that I wear and like she was cool with it. She was like, oh, whatever. Right. Then she saw my little quirks and stuff I like to do. I can't go through that whole process again with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I could, but I really don't think I want to. It's like, it'll be really hard for me to just open up like that again.
Right.
So right now, if I date somebody, it's kind of like, we're dating. That's cool. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not going to be like, oh, you trying to come in?
You try. Yeah.
It's going to always be, she would have to like push that issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in a respectful way. Don't just be like, oh, I'm trying to like jump in your pants. Because I'm going to be like, oh, well.
Oh, hold on. Take me to dinner
Hey, I'm a
first.
Christian. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't even know how I would handle that situation if it happened again. Because back then, when she was like, she just kind of like, all right, I'm finna come over. You know, period.
Right.
And I'm like, what you mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
I
And
guess.
like, I tried to like not let her come in.
Right.
I was like, oh, she came to the house, and I was like, oh, well, you know, let's take a walk.
Right.
Walked around the neighborhood,
Right.
talked,
Right.
and whatever, and like it got dark,
Yeah.
and I was so trying not. I did not want to let her into my world like that.
Yeah.
And she ended up in the house and stayed the night or whatever. But I was like not trying to have you see all my weirdness.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that again. Maybe. Probably not though. I'm not gonna say probably not because that'll be like shutting out
Exactly.
the world.
Yeah. 'Cause you never know.
I don't see it happening in the future right now.
Right.
So, but who knows?
You never know.
Yeah.
You never. A girl could come in right now and be like, "Hey, yeah, change it, turn your world upside down."
Some girl could come in and be like, "Yo, Vegeta's whack," and I'm gonna be like, "What?" That's what's gonna happen, and we just gonna argue, and that's how it's gonna start. But until then, it's not happening. On that note, we're gonna end the episode. I want to give a big shout out to my guy in the chair, Anthony. I'm Gary. This is Honestly Speaking. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you got something out of it. If it was just entertainment or some knowledge or peace of mind or whatever. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.